Talking to Katarina Nevedalova. You're an MEP and you're here at a Fondation EurActiv Stakeholder Workshop where we're discussing youth policy as it relates to regional policy. This is an area that you're involved in. Would you explain a little about the work you're doing at the moment?
As a member of the European Parliament, I'm very much interested in the supporting of the youth policy, and therefore I decided to be the member of the committee which is corresponding to the youth, which is the Committee for Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. And I'm working on this issue of the youth policy mainly in the committee. Also, I'm the Vice President of the European Young Socialists, and I have many other functions in the youth policy, also back to my country in Slovakia, but also on some international level.
You mentioned Slovakia there, your home country. There are elements of youth policy that clearly relate to EU level, some that relate to member state level and some that relate to regional level. How does implementation work for you in Slovakia?
For Slovakia, we are very specific because we are aging society. We don't have so much young people, so we are now much more focused on the seniors, which is also the issue in the European policy as such, that we are more focused on the seniors and pensions and stuff and not so much supporting the youth policy, because this is one of the issues why Europe is aging, so why to focus on the next generation. But from my point of view, this is very wrong, and we should much focus on the support of the young families, young workers and students and young people in general.
I know your work involves economic aspects as well, doesn't it? Not finding specifically, but helping young people with policies to find work. What are you doing with that at the moment? Because with the financial crisis, that must be a very tricky area.
It's a very tricky area. In my country specifically, we are trying to support young people in the labor market the way that they can apply for some special internship in the companies if they cannot find a job easily. But this is maximum to 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not very much sure because it was changed now in a recent time. So it's for a specific time they can apply for some internship in the companies where they can get some job. The companies get a special support, but it cannot be replacement of the stable job or working place. This is very good and interesting topic, and also we would like to support the young people by the way that they can get a special rate for the mortgages, yes, with support from the state, and several other issues, which I think it's quite a good. And now also the European Parliament adopted a report which is also supporting some way, very much similar way as we have in Slovakia, that there is this special support. If young people cannot find a job after finishing the school, they should be given some kind of internship or some kind of stage in the companies, which should be supported from the national states, which I think is the best we can do. Also, of course, we can support the self-employment of the young people. This is some other topic what state can do, but it's in general very good.
These are really big initiatives then, aren't they? How easy to implement will they be? Because we're talking Europe-wide, I presume now, aren't you?
As you see, in some countries it already exists, which means that it's working very well. In some countries not, and we hope that all the countries will support the initiative of the European Parliament, which was adopted on the initiative of the Union in this field. But the problem in the youth policy in general is really that this is not really the high topic in the national states, and it's decided mainly by the national states. So I hope that it will work.
So it's a political decision rather than a policy decision, you mean then?
Of course, it's always a political decision. All the policies are decided by the politicians, so it's also the governments and the national states how much they think that they should support the young people. But I hope that everybody will understand that in the time of crisis we must support the new generation, and we must support education and also the support of the young people in the labor market, because then we will grow up the new generation which will not be able to work and which will be not able to sustain and to live, in fact. So not to cut the budgets for education and support of the young people, but more increase the budgets and cut the budgets for the arms and disarmament or something like this.